Don't you know that from coast to coast, where there's dope, there's hope, where there's dope, there's hope. Sheesh. Wait, is it lit? Don't.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Cats and dogs and boys and toys.
Boys and toys. There we go. We adding to the list, man. We
adding
back.
To the list.
It's your boys, the Herbal Tea Podcast. It's your man, EarthTone.
And your man, Peasy, live from the payphone beeper era.
Let them know.
I'm not.
We out here, man. Hey, working through the Rona, as we said we would.
As we said
of course,
we would.
Obviously, we not in the same location. We working remotely. But we doing what we got to do. Shout out to Zoom. Been holding everybody down during this whole pandemic. Yo, I know they making crazy money. Like, it's free, but the advertisements and all that shit, like, they make money somehow. But them and Purell and Lysol, smacking. They killing it.
Listen,
I wish I would have
invested.
invested.
Not even a game.
I wish I'd invested. But what's going on? Shout out to everybody out there. Hope everybody's being safe, doing your social distancing and all that. It's getting crazy out here, man. What how you been? You all right?
Man, it's been up and down, high and low. But I'll tell you one thing's for sure. I don't know if they're doing it in your neighborhood. Every night at 7 p.m., they go off in the hood.
I've been
for the
seeing
healthcare workers and the frontline essential workers. And you know what's crazy is because I live in a building where they work essentially, like the people that work in this building that I live in.
Yeah.
The cooks is here, the janitors is here, the social workers is here during the week. So these guys are essential just like everybody else. Like, you'd be surprised how close in proximity you are to somebody who's out there, like, doing
in the field.
thing, like really in the field, got to deal with the frontline shit every day, being exposed, and you don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah,
and you
man.
don't know what's coming next. Just surrounded by so much tragedy and all of that shit. Like, these people are everywhere.
It's nuts. It's nuts. I've been seeing that on the news. They ain't been doing it out here as much, but I've been seeing the celebrations at 7:00, and that's dope, man. Giving that extra push to those workers out there holding it down for the people.
It's the least. It's the
At
least.
the very least. That's what I'm saying. Like, what else you gonna do?
You know what I'm saying?
So,
that's it.
But shout out to everybody out there, all the essential workers, all of the hospital workers, man, putting y'all lives on the line for everybody.
All of the people on MTA, like MTA, the bus drivers, the sanitation workers, the nurses, the doctors. Like, it's a serious situation going on out here. So nuts. Shout out to everybody that's, risking their lives basically to make sure we got something to eat.
Yeah.
That your shelves are stocked.
Absolutely. Hey, but thankfully, man, we still here. We made it to May. And we're gonna keep pushing. And one thing that never stops is the music. So we're gonna get right to it. It's been a few releases out here. You know what we do on this podcast thing.
You know how we do.
So let's just get right into it, man. Who we got first on the motherfucking list?
Who do we have on the first? I think that's you. What we got? Who we got?
Please, drum roll. Troye Sivan. Is it Sivan or Sivan? It's Sivan, right?
I call him Sivan because fuck y'all niggas with y'all accents on y'all names.
Damn, but I think disrespecting that kid, man.
I'm jealous. It's Troye Sivan. I think I looked it up because I was saying Sivan, but it's definitely Sivan.
Sivan would be V-I-N, not V-A-N. You know what I'm saying? Sivan. I don't know. But Troye Sivan, shout out to him.
He says it like that.
I'm sure most of you have heard of him. Troye Sivan Actually, he was born in South Africa, Johannesburg, but he's Australian, grew up in Australia, singer-songwriter, actor as well. He actually played Wolverine in X-Men Origins in 2009, which is kind of crazy. That movie was wild, too.
I didn't know that.
He released his debut EP, Dare to Dream, in 2007.
Right.
In 2014, he was named one of Time Magazine's 25 most influential teens. He's only 24 years old, so he's been in the game for a little minute. He debuted 2007, and he's 24 years old. He's been in the game for a little bit, but he started young, so he's somewhat of a child star.
He a baby,
and he got his start doing shows like in Australia that were comparable to American Idol. So he made it to the finals for a couple of those, and that's kind of how he got notarized. He was doing his thing on YouTube. He's a content creator. A lot of his music videos showcase like Q+ relationships and highlight, Q+ history and events and stuff like that, which I thought was dope. I always appreciate when people lean into that, because a lot of artists kind of shy away from it. And the whole, I don't want to be a gay rapper, I don't want to be limited, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's cool, you are who you are, but I like when people choose to kind of lean into that and represent, for the culture. So thought that was dope. Fun fact.
Oh.
He was raised Jewish, but he identifies as an atheist. I thought that was interesting. I was like, oh, okay. And he's a fairly young dude, so to kind of come to that, realization already at that age is pretty interesting.
Atheist.
Yeah.
Oh,
but what you know about Troye? Have you heard of Troye? Well, obviously, because you call him Sivan? Troye Sivan?
Troye Sivan.
He might have to see you when he see you disrespecting his name, B.
Listen, I want all of the smoke. Do they not understand this by now? We are 9 episodes in. I want all of it. So
no, I think they know.
Nah, but Troye Sivan. Yes, fun fact. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
He participated in the Stonewall benefit for a live stream for Stonewall and Gives Back. That's a nonprofit organization that gives financial assistance to LGBTQ+ workers in the nightlife industry. And he performed the single that we're about to review on the live feed. So shout out to him, because I know a lot of people obviously we know a lot of people in the LGBT nightlife scene hurting by this whole situation, because once they said no more bars, no more nothing.
Absolutely.
Shut down.
No more
DJs
parties,
is out of the job.
no
These
more
drag
events.
queens gotta like go back to, they gotta stay home. Like, or, not even so much that, but they gotta just go about it a little bit differently.
They gotta hustle.
So a lot of these,
figure it out.
They gotta figure it out. So it's crazy. So he did that, and I think that was pretty dope, pretty noble cause.
That's what's up. I didn't know that. Okay, so shout out to Troye, man. And
Shout
like you
out to
said, we
Troye.
about to review this joint. Take Yourself Home. That's the name of the new single. It's produced by Oscar Gores. It came out April 1st, your birthday.
Ow.
It's a single, 4 minutes, 9 seconds. Pretty lengthy single, especially nowadays. Most joints is kind of short on a lower end of 3 minutes. So this is 4 minutes, 9 seconds.
I still like my 4-minute songs. I'm just saying.
If it's good, fam. And this shit was fire. So I'm going to take this 4 minutes. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take this 4 minutes, this fire 4 minutes real quick.
It's fire?
You know what I'm saying? I gave it a fire, man. 75%. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why. And I actually bumped it up. Like my first grade, like off rip initially, I was like, yo, this shit is dope. I really like it. Boom, boom, boom. Listen to it loud. Mm-hmm. Then I listened to it and started getting into like the songwriting, like his pen. I was like, let me really like listen to what this young boy is trying to tell these people. Because I went back and looked at one of his videos, and he has, it's like a 3-part trilogy video. So it's 3 singles, but it's in one, and it's like a short. So it's like a 12-minute video, but it's for 3 of his songs. And one of the songs in the middle was hard. It got like that grinding drums. Pharrell, the clips, grinding,
right.
Dum, dum, dum. He sampled those drums on some pop R&B shit for like the hook. Yo, it's hard. He killed it. But the video like showcases him. It's like a Q+ relationship. So they start out as kids, and then it progresses and shows them as like teens, and it's kind of dope, and it's very well done. So that kind of just made me like, let me go back and like really listen and see because he seemed like he content heavy, and he's really like on that songwriting shit. He's heavy on lyrics. So I'm like, yo, the beat is dope. I love that guitar opening, how it comes in. The production is fire. It's real open, but it moves. It's funky. You know what I'm saying? And then the vocal performance is very strong, I thought. He doesn't have a crazy strong voice. Like, he's not a wailer, nothing like that, but he uses his voice very well. And then he had the pitch changes towards the end where he went up and he went in with it. I like the way he fucked with it. The hook, I'm tired of the city. Scream if you with me. If I'm gonna die, let's die somewhere pretty. Like what? Like just that right there. just those bars. That's a light bar, but when you like dissect those words, it's just the way. It's all about the way you say shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not saying
really
nothing
is.
super crazy and deep.
It really is.
But it's just like, if you tired of the city, scream if you with me. If I'm gonna die, let's die somewhere pretty.
We're pretty, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just like, that's a dope look. That's poetic right there, and I fuck with that. And he has a few lines like that throughout the whole song. That's why I had to bump it up. I'm like, yo, this joint is hard, man. It's groovy, it's dope. It's something I want to listen to. It's pleasing to the ear. And then he getting his shit off. Like I always respect the ill pen. So shout out to Troye, man. Fire, 75%. So I got to say, I don't know. What you thought? All
right. I'm not even gonna lie. His pen go. Like Remy say, you know when the pen go.
I respect a good pen,
His pen does go. I give him that. I'm listening to the record. It took me a couple of times to really like get into the groove of it. And I gave it a 61% loud.
Ooh, okay.
And I'm going to break this down. You're definitely right. His pen is there. Talk to me. There's nothing that can't be fixed with a little honesty. That's my favorite line.
That was my other line outside of the hook. Yes. That's such a deep line.
It's so deep. It's like
real. It really is real. Like on so many layers.
That's why I gave it at least a loud as far as that, because I really like his pen. The only thing that really kind of confused me was the end switch, the beat switch to at the end. Like I didn't necessarily jive with it.
Yeah.
I was trying to see where he was going with that. Like, cause it gave me a little bit of a Kanye situation, where he would like cut in a sample in, or he would like do a whole beat change on a number of his songs, like from Yeezus, it reminded me of. Like, it felt like he was inspired to do something in that vein. And I just think it got a little lost, because you get the smoothness of the whole record, and then all of a sudden you got this kind of jagged house kind of beat that's a little faster. Yeah. So it kind of takes you off of the flightiness, the lightness of the ballad itself, and then kind of push you in something kind of unsettling.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? I took points off for that. But as far as the record, this record does go. The boy's talented. I'm gonna give him his props. Troye Sivan, you got it. 61% loud from me. You're ready.
That's hard. Hey, 61% loud, 75% fire. That's pretty fucking good, man. Shout out to you, Troye, man. Did his thing. Go check that shit out. Streaming on all platforms. Take yourself home, Troye Sivan. My bad. Don't fuck with me.
Take yourself home. You already know.
Yeah,
and
man.
Also, he made. I almost forgot to mention this. He was on Genius, and he was breaking down his own song, and basically saying how he released it at the time he recorded it. He wasn't really thinking about the pandemic. It was just kind of like a song that, he was talking about whatever he was talking about it, but it takes on a different connotation now.
The best songs. That's when you have a strong.
It's in the zeitgeist. Yeah.
Like the way you write, that it could just fit into
the time period. Yeah.
That's because it's gonna relate to so many different people. It's just like that line you said, like, talk to me. It's nothing that can't be fixed with a little honesty. Like,
a little honesty.
That's just like such a real line on different. You could take that so many different levels, which is dope. But I actually forgot about that last part, because I watched the video. There's like a lyric video of it. And it's super dope. It's just like B-roll of different like skylines and landscapes and shit like that. And then at the end, it does change up. And the way his videos are intricate, it sounds like it's leading into something else, like another song, or it's a breakdown, like maybe like a fight scene or some shit that's going into something else, but it doesn't fit the song. It kind of takes it off, and it does take away from it. And I forgot all about that.
So the lyric video is what you saw, right? It has, but it stays the same song the whole time, right? It doesn't switch that part out.
No, it switches. It switches it at the end, and then it just goes off.
Yeah.
But that's where, as soon as you said that, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that part. Because I wasn't really, like, I don't know, when I was listening to it and I heard that part, I always thought it was a different song. And we were listening, and I had it in my playlist. And then some of the other artists that we, reviewing have music that kind of fall into that.
Feels so like that's that part. So I thought the same thing.
So I was disassociating it with the song. So that's why I didn't even count it. And then as soon as you said, I was like, oh shit, that's right. That part is on the song. So it's like
I thought it was another artist that we were reviewing because I did the same thing. The shit's on shuffle, so you just listening to whatever's there.
Exactly. But shout out to him, man. You got a fire in the loud. Either way, we thought that shit was rocking. Hey, what do y'all think? Go check that shit out. Herbal.T.pod. Let us know in the comments what y'all think. It's streaming on all platforms, y'all. Take yourself home. Troye Sivan. Go check it out.
Troye Sivan.
All right.
So
Who do we got?
Bring into the stage. We got the OG himself.
Oh shit.
Shorty Rock.
We got an OG in the building.
Got the OG.
BK.
You already Brooklyn stand up in the building.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Shorty Rock is for sure thoroughbred, Brooklyn bred, Q+ legend who broke into the underground with his 10 Gay Commandments freestyle in 2003, my nigga.
Hey.
And then issued his debut mixtape, Jacket for Beats, going on to release 3 albums, the latest being All Stars, which came out in 2019.
Hey, All Stars.
Which, as you already know, he kind of got all the homies that been doing this Q+ shit for the longest. He kind of got all of us together.
He pulled a Khaled real quick.
He really did. He got us all on there. So shout out to him for that. That was his latest release, and he's released a few singles in between, like such as 100, Full Circle with Chaos, you already know. And so, fun fact. Fun fact, he does make an appearance in the award-winning web series, The Circle, episode 3 of season 4, which we're going to talk about.
Oh, yes.
Later on in the show. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. Shout out to all the boys behind The Circle.
Word.
Shorty Rock made a little bit of appearance there, and we'll get into that later on. But now he has a single, One Night Only. One Night Only. Not that one night only. That's not it.
Only.
He ain't talking about that kind of night. He's talking about a different kind of night. Different kind of night. Came out March 30th, 2020. Okay. And you know what I'm saying? He come through. You know what it is. It's about like, you only here for the night, man. Stop. He ain't cuffing nobody. Cuffing season is over. He just kind of like...
You mentioned he's a pioneer. He's really like one of the first to embrace the out hip hop, out rapper label. Like, absolutely. A lot of people, like we were just talking about it earlier, like it's kind of a tricky thing. It's like 50-50. Like some people fuck with it, some people don't. It rubs some people the wrong way. Some people don't really matter. Some people wear it as a badge of honor. He was one of the earliest artists to like
fully embrace that.
This is me. I'm talking Q+ content, all of that shit. So he's definitely a pioneer in that aspect. Shout out to Shorty Rock, man. BK's own. But so yeah, like you said, one night only.
Kind of speaks for itself. What I like about the song, before I give my rating. What I like about the song. Anybody that's heard Shorty Rock before, you already know how you're gonna come across. You already know his lyrical style. It's basically blunt Brooklyn force, straight laced, no chaser.
Straight laced.
You getting it how you see it is what you get. Like there's no change in him. He's always been like that, and that kind of works to an advantage when you're selling certain lines or when you're talking about certain things, just keeping it 100. My favorite line, show me what that mouth do. That's when you say less. I died when I heard that line, but that's kind of really what he given. So for Lee Loud 60s, you are ready. Shout out to Shorty Rock.
Wow. Okay.
I fuck with the record. I really do.
Yeah. Okay. Look at Shorty. That's what's allowed. 60%.
60%.
Okay.
60%. B is not really like killing it. It's not. You know what I'm saying? It's not. But it works for what he doing. It works for his delivery.
Yeah.
He rode the beat. He kind of gave his full swag, and that's kind of really, for me, gives you points. You completely yourself.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't change up. You are able to bring that delivery and bring that personality, the things that make you you.
Yeah.
So when you do that, if I always commend on artists, like if nobody else could do that better than you, then that song is you, and that's what gives you the high rating.
Yeah.
Like I can't hear anybody else
that's
over
what people
Kanye
mean.
record.
Yeah. I feel like that's what people mean when they say like I'm in my bag. Like he's in his bag on this record. Like this is like his pocket.
Absolutely.
This is his bread and butter. This is what he does. Like I fucked with the joint. Like you said, the beat was decent. It was cool. It wasn't a bad beat, but it was kind of just, it don't really stand out, but it kind of give you what you need. Like it kind of, it add a little bop, but it wasn't nothing crazy. It didn't stand out. I thought the flow was a little, I don't know, it was a kind of dated a little bit. Like it give you that, like a little too much of that old school rub off. You know what I mean? Like it was cool with flow. He's on beat and everything. He's riding it. But I thought the flow was a tad bit dated. But that hook, I find myself singing that shit like, stalking my brain for only one night. That's my shit. That's my favorite line. Like stalking my brain. Like for somebody to be stalking your brain, like that's just, I never even heard nobody like put it like that, like saying that phrase. But that's hard. I thought that was dope. And the hook is just catchy. But it didn't like, I mean, the content and the concept isn't anything to ride home about. It isn't anything super creative. Like it's kind of straightforward. Like you said, he's straight laced. He gonna give it to you. It is what it is. You get in one night only. The title tells you exactly what it is. You get what you get. But overall, man, I thought it was a mid. I gave it a 45% mid. I thought it was like, it's right in that middle lane. Like it ain't nothing I'm doubling back to listen 1,000 times. But when I hear it, I ain't skipping it. Like it's like, oh yeah, it's I fuck with this joint. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't necessarily make the playlist. So I gave it a mid 45%.
I was smoked to this record. And because I know, I guess, I don't know.
It's definitely making a playlist at the after hours. Like you just you get in there.
Like when the club is shutting down, you put this on because you already know where it's going. But also because I admire Shorty Rock and the fact that he has been around for so long. Like,
come on, like you can't.
I just said 2003 when I was researching. I was like, I didn't know he was out that fucking long.
Fam, I just went back and I saw the joint he did over the 10 crack commandments, the 10 gay commandments.
Yeah.
Body, like low key, like body, like he's just been around for so long. That's like E40. Like E40 is one of those artists. He's been around so long. He got so many albums. It's like, you just got so much work. It's like, it ain't really nothing we could say to demerit or take any stripes from Shorty. Like
he already, take nothing from him.
He already solidified. You know what I'm saying?
He's
like
it
is what it is. Like, and he's still going hard. He's still putting out singles, still consistent. So shout out to him, man. Go check that shit out. Streaming now on all platforms. It came out March 30th. So the end of March. Fresh out the motherfucking bag. One night only. Shorty Rod BK Zone, man. Shout out to him. Go check that shit out on all streaming platforms, man.
Absolutely. Do that.
Word. All right. So for number 3 on the list, Q Plus artist number 3 of the day.
Number 3, who we got?
This is an interesting one we got here. This is actually a submission. So
indeed.
MeIsntMe is the name. And it's spelled like one word. So it's MeIsntMe. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not 100% sure, but that's how it reads. It's MeIsntMe. So MeIsntMe. Shout out to you. This was a submission, so they hit us up on a Herbal Tea email. And a little bit about this artist, Q Plus pop artist. She mentioned that she's looking to spread her message through relatable music and polarizing imagery. And you could definitely see that from one of her images here. Check it out. We got the girl MeIsntMe. Very eclectic, very artistic, very different. I fucks with it. And it's definitely polarizing. Like everybody not gonna be able to see that and see the art in it and the beauty in it. And it's different. Like it's gonna make you think. She got to start recording covers in a bedroom. She's actually gearing up right now to release her debut EP, which is called Aries. I'm assuming she's an Aries. That has something to do with her zodiac.
Okay. Shout out to the Aries.
Yeah, her new single is produced by a good friend of hers, Brunette ASF. So I'm guessing that's
Brunette as fuck.
I don't know, but isn't as fuck just AF?
I've seen both.
Yeah, I've seen both.
I just said as fuck.
That's dope both, though. Brunette as fuck. I like that better.
I like that shit. I like her producer name.
Absolutely. She lists Lady Gaga and Charlie XCX as two of her biggest influence. So shout out to MeIsntMe. New artist. I never heard of her before. Like I said, she was a submission. Have you ever heard of MeIsntMe? I don't.
Not before the submission,
no, right?
But I definitely went into, what they do. I think this single that we're reviewing is their debut single.
Okay.
Because there's no other.
This is definitely the debut single. She said in the email that she got some joints on SoundCloud, but I think this is like her first joint that's streaming. So nothing else is on. So nothing else is out on any platforms or anything like that. So this is her debut joint. It's called Like We Do. She put it out on April 13th. I'm not sure like what she identifies as. I know she's definitely Q+. Obviously she submitted. But I think she addresses herself as she in the email. But I'm not 100% sure, but she's definitely a Q+ artist. Like we said, this is her debut single, 3 minutes, 2 seconds. All right.
What we got?
So this is what I got.
What you got?
Sir Reginald James is making his appearance on this episode of the Herbal Tea Podcast, ladies.
Reginald came through?
Sir Reginald James, man. I had to do it to her. So the beat was cool, actually. When it opens up on some other, like it got that metal grunge rock, like those, those harsh mechanic sounds, like something gears are grinding up and shit. It opens up like that with a lot of different sounds, but then it comes in, she got this like watery underwater effect on her voice. So it's like it's starting off, and like for the first 30 seconds, I'm like, yo, this joint is kind of decent. And then all of a sudden, like she starts like singing, the drums comes in, and she's like offbeat. The rhythm is like she's losing the pocket like every now and then. I'm like, like I can't really, I don't know. It just wasn't clicking for me. I was trying to like, I couldn't really hear any lyrics. Like after I heard like the way she was dropping the flows and the rhythms, I couldn't really hear it. Like the flow was just too choppy for me. It wasn't connecting right. It didn't seem like she was connecting with the production. And I don't know, it just lost me. I felt bad after a while. And I listened to it a few times. I'm like, damn, like when it starts, it really sounds like it's about to be something and build up into something that's dope. And then it kind of falls flat and gets confusing after a while. Like after a while, it's not even like a pleasant listening experience. And I'm like, nah, it's not really doing it for me. I like actually the way it ends with the like we do, like the way once the hook, the catch actually comes in, the like we do, I actually like that part, you know what I'm saying? But it comes at the very end of the whole song. And like by that point, she done put me through so much that I ain't really want to go through. I'm like, all right, it fell short for me. But yeah, it ain't really do it for me. I gave it a Reginald 20%. Shout out to MeIsntMe on the effort, but hey, this is a first single, you know what I'm saying? Like your first single, for you to hit it out the bat, I mean, you would probably be signed for your very first single. So this is her first joint. It just ain't really do it for me. What did you think about it?
All right, MeIsntMe.
MeIsntMe.
Okay, I'm gonna have to just be totally frank.
Here we go.
This is a bad song.
Hey,
this is a bad song. My rating is 14%. You already know what that is. This song is not good. They start when it doesn't have an interesting beginning, which I thought it was going somewhere.
It gave me the same feeling.
She starts singing, but she sings at this weird tone. She starts low, like a conversational tone, and then it goes up to like a whining octave that's not really, and then you're right, all the things that you said are things that I had problems with. She's not on beat. You can't understand what she's saying. There's a lot of distortion going on.
They wilded out with the auto-tune.
They did a lot. I don't know where. Maybe the auto-tune was on everything or whatever. The production part is, it just like, that probably might be the high point, because Brunette as Fuck kind of gave you real something imaginative and kind of spacey. And so that's why I thought the song had a lot of promise in the very beginning. But the songwriting is the other half of a good song.
Yes.
So if your songwriting is lacking, you're going to have to like go back to the drawing board. So I did not enjoy this record at all. I say she needs a lot of work to kind of get her up there, or get it to a point where, you know, it could at least be listenable, because I'm not going to bullshit y'all. You might listen to this record one time and then you're going to just automatically discard it and move on with your life, because this record is not. But I want to say this on a redeeming note.
We encourage everybody to listen.
We really do. Listen, support the artist, because you could think about it and hear it a little bit differently. There have been many times where I've heard songs where I just completely hate them, and then somebody right next to me be like, they see the genius in it.
We've proven it on almost every episode. Like, we have
pretty much. We have different opinions on everything. So the artist, this one's not doing it for me, but I do commend her for sending this in to us. Thank you. And keep doing your thing, because this is just one song.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do more. More songs.
I mean, she's doing more. She got an EP coming. So,
you got an EP.
She's definitely. We're gonna check out the EP.
We're gonna look for the improvement. We're gonna see what happens.
You are officially a part of the Herbal Tea fam.
Right.
You're on our radar. We're gonna be checking out the music like we do. It wasn't it for us, but definitely go check it out. Everybody that's listening and watching, it's streaming on all platforms. MeIsntMe, like platforms. We do. And it's funny you said that, because the beat for me was like the saving grace. Like, if it wasn't for the production, it would probably.
If it was just the instrumental,
I'd have probably gave out the first. You know what I mean. But yeah, but hey, MeIsntMe, like we do on all streaming platforms right now. Go check that shit out. So
already,
interestingly enough, we don't have an ally for the day.
You don't have an ally.
I mean, it's a little slow right now. Everybody's dealing with the Rona. You know, it's not a heavy influx of music coming out right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of quiet out here a little bit for music, which you would think is the opposite, but it's not super quiet. You know, it ain't that many known allies. And we've kind of, you know, we don't want to just start grabbing in people just because we, you know, short on allies. Like, if we ain't got an ally, we ain't got an ally.
We ain't got an ally.
So we just gonna review another Q Plus artist. So
we're gonna review another Q Plus artist.
Who do we have next?
Bring into the stage.
Bring it to the motherfucking stage.
Our fourth Q Plus artist for the day.
Zebra
fucking Katz. Zebra Katz, ladies and gentlemen.
That tag is hard.
Listen, that is the hardest artist tag that I've ever heard.
I didn't realize it was a tag until this project.
Like, I thought
that was just on that song. Like, I didn't know. I never heard it before on anything else. So now,
but you know what? I mean, in a way, I mean, it could kind of work if he's a kind of a producer as well. So it worked.
I didn't know that. I didn't even know he produced.
You know, I mean, I would say like co-production. I don't know if outright on this. Anyway, we're gonna get into this right now.
Yeah, who the fuck is Zebra Katz? Who is this guy?
Zebra Katz. All right, let me give you a little bit of a primer on Zebra Katz.
Learn us.
First generation Jamaican artist, Jamaican American immigrant, and Florida-based hip hop artist known for his ballroom classic. I'ma read. 2012.
I'ma take that bitch to college.
You already, you know what it is. He was number 26 on our top 50. He previously released 2 mixtapes, 2012's Champagne and 2013's Darkling, which got a boost from a Busta Rhymes collab on that mixtape. So shout out to Zebra Katz for that, and shout out to Busta for repping on that. I'ma read, such a big artist. He was featured on Dear White People, which is, you already know, I think it's an HBO show or a Netflix show, one of the two.
I think it's Netflix.
And, yeah. And you know, he's released 3 music videos in advance of the project we're about to review right now. Less is More came out March 20th, 2020. 3 music videos. He's got a video for Ish, More, and Nausea, and it's like a split video with NNN. So, you know, the man here has released the record, and unfortunately, right at the beginning of the lockdown,
right before the shit popped off and shut down, like literally right before.
I couldn't imagine something like this happening to an artist. Sucks. But he's currently on lockdown in Berlin right now, and this is the project that he's just dropped. I'm gonna give you a couple of fun facts. I'm gonna give you some fun facts about this fella here. He does own his own independent record label, ZFK. You can probably tell what that means. And his music, he purposefully makes his music disorienting and abrasive because a zebra's main defense is to dazzle and camouflage and disorient his predators.
You see the layers, though.
So
you see the layers.
When the branding,
I love shit like that. I love shit like that. Damn, I didn't even know that. But then when he say it and it connects, it makes so much more sense.
There it is. And so now, I've got a couple of other things. You know, one of the things I wanted to.
I actually found out he was on tour with the Gorillas in 2018.
Right. Okay. Right. So
that's hard. I saw that. I didn't realize he was like moving and shaking like that. That's a big fucking deal.
He's been doing a whole lot of shows. Like he's been, you know, he's performed with a whole shitload of people, like Azealia Banks, a whole bunch of motherfuckers. And I think that's probably the cause for like him releasing this album now after so many years of, you know what I'm saying, of you know, being out, being a celebrity and having your breakout hit. Yeah, so he's been touring and putting out projects with so many different types of people, which is dope. It's a dope way because normally you see people want to get their shit
like
out.
A better path for artists as opposed to just studio album, go tour for a year, studio album, go tour. Like you got to live, have experiences, move and shit.
You got to go get your fans. Go get your fans.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And I definitely respect that. So. More on this album title. The album title is Less is More. And it links to a time where he was going to school in Florida. He went to design school. I think it was, hold on.
You sound 100 times better, by the way.
I sound 100 times better?
Whatever technique you're doing, that's the move.
We're going to go ahead and keep it a little bit closer.
Yeah, you might have to do that.
Let's do it. All right. He went to Eugene Lang, which is a liberal arts school in Florida. And he was one of the only Black students there. So in a liberal arts school, he was majoring in drama. So he would obviously be in a lot of plays. They would do older works like Shakespearean plays. And he would normally get casted as just one of the Moors, which is basically just a catch-all term for dark-skinned people that they use like on all different types of the world. And it means different things in different contexts. Like for Muslim people, it means one thing. For like Filipino people, it means another thing. For Northern African people, it means something else. But it just basically means dark skin.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day. And you know what that already brings a whole set of connotations. So he went ahead and he did like a one-man play, and he did a one-man play, and he kind of exhibited the whole Moore's contradictions that like he was trying to call out like all of the contradictions behind that, and that was kind of the birth of his actual artist personality, Zebra Cat. So it all connects, in other words, and that's kind of why I dig the album title on that, because it's basically just a piece about all forms of Blackness and all the messaging behind it.
And then it's a double entendre, just a play on words. Like it's fly all around. And then that shit about his name and then the way he used the zebra to kind of intertwine with his style.
It all comes around. It's like not wrapped in a neat little bow. So he's amazing just for that type of kind of connection. So, all of it kind of explains the artist who we are reviewing. And he has his album, Less is More.
What do we
debut
think? Let's
album.
get to the shits, man. 15
Let's
songs.
get to the shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what we talking about? It's a lot of songs. It's a healthy
project. It's a lot of songs.
This is a healthy project.
This is a healthy project.
This is his debut full length, right?
Debut album, like his solo debut. He's got a whole lot of other projects with other people.
Of course.
But this is his debut album.
We always looking for that debut, that solo offering where it's just you. Original shit. You know what the debut is. This is the debut.
He's got a lot of highlights. Hold on. Should I go first or should I let you go ahead? I'm gonna let you get some. I want to hear.
You know how I go when you supposed to go first. You ain't gonna let me get nothing. Go ahead.
All right.
Think? Let me get your rating and then go off.
Okay. I gave it a mid. 55%. I gave it a mid.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Like, the record has very much like when he go hard, he goes hard. He got a lot of texture on this record.
That's a great
there's not a whole lot of melody. There's a whole lot of texture, which I like because now it gives you collage. He uses audio.
So.
He uses audio as a collage. You know what I'm saying? Like audio collage, if you can imagine what I mean. A whole different mix of ideas and expressions and messages that he's putting in. So it's very multi-layered in that sense.
That description is so A1.
That highlights for me more Necklace, Zad drums, which is just basically a whole bunch of different drum patterns that kind of crash into each other. I fucking love that record. Sleeping, he goes hard on Sleeping. And No One Else is one of the interludes, one of my favorite interludes on his album. But I mean, when he came out, when he broke down with Necklace, like you hear all of this, you hear all of the rapping, the textures, the attitude, the blackness, the self-righteousness. And then you get to a record like Necklace, that shit is almost mind-blowing. How like he goes from this tough exterior to this really, really poetic, vulnerable soul that you see. So I really fuck with Necklace as kind of like my favorite. But for the most part, for me, the record is not necessarily something I can always go back to because you really have to be in the mood for the record. You can take it in pieces, and I got to listen to it in pieces. That was the way I could absorb it. I had to shuffle it. I had to mix it with other types of music because it's very abrasive. It's very challenging. It challenges you. And you take that for what it's worth. Mid, 55%.
Wow. What a fucking breakdown, fam. Like, honestly, I don't even have a whole lot to say because you pretty much nailed like every point I had on my paper. I'm going to shout out a couple of the songs that I absolutely love. In is just my shit. That's my shit. That's my favorite song on the whole project. I feel like that's him in his bag, like
in his bag.
Like that's just his pocket. He can't fail with those kind of joints. The beat is like that house club shit. You want to dance, you want to rock, you want to get sweaty. He talking his shit. His cadences, his rhythms is on point. The flow is crazy. Like he dropping that shit. He say the line, can't find my type, this shit ain't right, can't try, I can't lie, I try, I'm surprised I'm allowed. He be ripping his shit. And then so I gave it a 60% loud. So 60% teeters on right on the borderline of loud and mid.
Loud and mid.
I could have gave it a mid 60%, or I could have gave it a loud 50-60%. And I gave it a loud. I gave that edge just because of what you said, like the creativity and the ability to tap into something and go against a wave and be so original that you don't sound or you're not doing anything that anyone else is doing. And it's hard to do that, especially in the landscape today where we exposed to so many artists, we exposed to so much music, you hear so much shit and it gets so trendy and we get caught up in, going viral and catching the next wave and all that shit. But to be bold enough to just sit in your shit and do what you do, how you do it, the way nobody else could do it, like I give you extra credit for that, which he did that shit through and through, like from the cover to the title, to the sequencing, to everything. Like it was dope. He got a couple of joints on here. I mean, it's 15 tracks. I feel like if he'd have chopped 5 joints off of here and made this a 10-song project, this might have been like a fire for me, like an 80% fire, possibly.
I probably would have gave it a 5 if it was shorter.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like 10 tracks, a good solid 10 joints. Because all right, NNN was my joint. Necklace, I loved. Like that was probably my. I say NNN and Necklace is like 1 and 1A for me. Like those is like my 2 favorite joints. I love Necklace. The whole style was dope. He giving me like Jimi Hendrix on there. He just kind of it felt like a sonnet. It was just like an audible sonnet. Like it ain't too long. It's short and sweet. It's under 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? The production is just super, like, it's just dope. It's some acoustic, chilling the cut, being your feelings. He on his emo shit. It's dope. I fuck with that shit.
It's a beautiful song. It's a beautiful song.
Yeah. And then, like you said, the contrast, because some of the other shit he got on there, like he got musical interludes that sound like you walking through like an abandoned industrial factory that's like falling apart with like fucking,
dude,
you know what I'm saying?
I said that shit.
Some shit that you need like hard bottoms to walk through, and then you go to like something like Necklace where it's just like pearls laying on a fur rug or something like that. Like that.
While he's crying on top of him.
Yeah, so that's like that range. That's range right there. Like you can't. You know what I'm saying? And I fuck with that, and I appreciate that, and I reward that, which is why I gave him the 60% loud over the mid. Sleeping was dope too. I fuck with Sleeping. That beat reminds me of something. I can't put my finger on it, but that beat, it just give me like Timbaland meets Pharrell. Like that whole beat is just on some other shit. And what he did with it, I thought was
fire.
So that's another joint I fuck with. Been Known is my shit. Where in the world did you get that from? Where in the world did you get that from? Because yo, that's my shit. I love that song. That just that little phrase right there is just dope. Because them repetitive phrases that you could catch that kind of say so much but don't say a lot because they short. But it's like, I don't know. He just nailed that for me. So that's 3-4 joints that I really loved. Then the other joints was kind of just notable. Like they had qualities that I liked but wasn't quite there. Like that Up joint I liked a lot, but it wasn't quite there. Zad Drums I had on my honorable mention. Like I liked it, but it was kind of like you said, like I gotta be in the mood for these joints. Like I'm not going back to them. I'm not playlisting none of those. I playlisted NNN, I playlisted Necklace, I playlisted Been Known. That's 3 playlisted out of 15. That's all I'm giving you. That's how you get that mid. Like that, it's too many joints. You know what I'm saying? Like Monitor was cool. I like that. Lick It and Spit had his moments. You know what I'm saying? Lousy was cool. Like a few of the joints had moments. And then it was just a few joints that I just didn't like at all. Like I just wasn't fucking with. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's kind of how I got to the mid 60%. But I mean, that's not bad. Overall, your debut project, you know, long overdue. And I appreciate them giving you a healthier project because, you know, this your debut. It's been a minute. We don't usually get a lot of. We was talking about it like when we did the top 50 Q plus. We really didn't have a lot of music to go off of, but what
he just had one of the singles
so strong was, you know, it was out there. So that was enough to put him on the list. And he left enough of a mark, you know what I'm saying, as far as his presence, what he's done in the culture. You know, he was on, the first time I saw him, I think it was on, no, that wasn't Dateline. I forgot where I first saw him, but that first single, that what's the name of this shit? The first single he got.
From this album?
No, the shit that he popped off with, the original.
Oh, I'ma Read.
I'ma Read. Like that shit is just like a cult classic almost.
Yeah.
So he's been out here doing this thing for a minute, but we never got like a full-length project from him. So I see why he gave us 15, which is dope. And I mean, 60%, man, definitely go check it out. It's worth a listen. It's a hell of a ride. For sure. You're gonna enjoy the listen, but like we said, there's certain joints you got to be in the mood for, and check it out. You know, give yourself a listen. It's a lot to digest. You know what I mean? You definitely gonna need a couple listens to pick up everything. But he did his damn thing on there, man. Shout out to Zebra Cats. Less is more.
He did, man.
All platforms.
It's streaming on all platforms.
We were pretty close with that on the grades too. 60% to 55%. Like that's pretty much right there. But you hit a lot of like the collage, all of that shit, like that was those are perfect adjectives for the way he puts his shit in. And it's like very abrasive. It is. It's like, but you gotta be in the right space to listen to it. But once you get it and you lock in, it's a magical moment.
It's a mood. you might definitely have to smoke with this. Like
absolutely.
if you're a smoker, sit with it and smoke with it, and then
absolutely.
Just lay with it, be intimate with it. Because I had to do that. I think I listened to this album at least 5, 6, 7 times.
That's why
just to make sure I was.
That's why I enjoy the fact that we sit with
it.
You got to sit with the music because you can't get it in one sitting, man. Like, imagine how long it takes people to put these projects together. You think you're just gonna get it in that first listen, that one sitting? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially if it
gives
not
you, at all.
If it gives
as multi-layered as he is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then if it gives you, when it gives you that urge to go back and listen to it, it's like, all right, we gotta go back. I need a couple more listens to this. But hey, man, shout out to Zebra Cats, top 50Q plus artists. Less is more, streaming on all platforms, man. Go check that shit out, man.
Support the boy, man. He just released his album like right on the cusp of a world lockdown changing epidemic.
We know we're slowly opening up, but most of y'all need to stay still, sit still. You ain't got shit else to do but go listen to some music. Go listen to that shit. Tune in.
And check out those videos. Have you seen any of the music videos for this project?
I haven't seen any of them.
Yo, the videos are fire. Like he's so
people are really getting back into their
creative with
lately.
I really love it. And it looked like he came with a budget. Like he had a production team. Like it's just real artistic. It's real next level. Very artsy. I love it. And I mean, it kind of can get a little bit pretentious because that's just the nature of like drama students or whatever. But just as a visual piece, I fuck with it. I like what he did. It's something I would strive to do one day.
Hey, well, go check out the videos. Go check out the music, stream the shit, and let us know what you think, man. Hit us up, herbal.t.pod on IG, Twitter. And then email us. Let us know if you got music coming. I know a lot of y'all sitting around, people in their bags right now. You got some shit dropping. You want us to review
what you got?
Send it to us, man. But just know.
We'll get the real.
All right, man. So it's about that time. We gotta see what's going on out here, man. You know it's a lot going on already. We living through a motherfucking pandemic. We at the epicenter of the pandemic.
That too.
You know what I mean? New York City, everybody. Shout out to everybody listening, man. Wherever you at, we hope everybody being safe and sound. But my man I.K.P about to take us to the streets, man. What's going on, man? What's going on out there?
You know, it's a lot going on in these streets, even though I'm not necessarily physically in these streets as much. I won't say I'm not, because I definitely am. But, you know.
You stay tapped in.
You know what I'm saying? I'm always tapped in. But, you know, there's a lot going on online, and that's kind of where the streets is taking it this time
that's
around.
where the streets is at right now. We can't be in the streets. So
for real. There's a whole lot of shit going on. We're going to just talk about The Circle, season 4 a little bit. The last 2 episodes, episode 2 and episode 3, came out around the end of March or end of April. So, we're just going to give a little bit of a recap going on.
Okay.
For episode 2, I'm getting a little bit more of a feel of the actual individuals, and I'm also trying to find what the actual theme of the season's going to be. Is looking like it's about this World AIDS Day PSA. I'm really trying to see where that one is going to go. They had the meeting about it. Loso does not know who Eazy-E is. Isn't he the lead singer of like NWA?
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
I can't be surprised. I was not surprised. Billy was late because he's always late.
Stays late.
Meetings, but you know he made it. We got an appearance. Dwight, he must be the point person of this whole situation. Chavis is giving a whole lot more presence.
Really? He is. He really is. He really is.
A whole 360 maybe or 180
really
from
is.
season 3 because you barely saw him.
Got a lot more chest feathers.
But there's a whole lot of like this. You see him full throttle, full frontal, alpha male shit or bleep. You already know. He's out there. So shout out to Chavis.
You know how that go.
You know what I'm saying? I'm digging the Nordstrom Versace silk shirt that he got with his little chest hair showing. I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like it's there. It's gonna be a thing for him.
It's pretty much a thing.
Get your shit. Get your shit. You know what I'm saying?
He out here.
But at the same time, he's spitting game to the kids because he was doing
that was dope.
Yeah, he was in the high schools, kind of talking about his career and you know, just kind
that's one of the things I noticed about the show. They showing like some really real moments. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. Like that was one of them, and then even like the Whites, the tea time joint he had at the end, the pink party, like that. Those were some like real dope moments that they have in the show that I fuck with.
I saw it. I definitely dig that. What is it? The Kiss My Pink, the slumber party, which was basically gearing towards a lot of heterosexual women.
I mean, and it was like that's dope. Like we need those conversations, and like it got it got awkward a couple moments. Like it was some real moments in there. Like that shit is dope.
Real
you
moments.
Don't see that shit. You just don't see it.
I like that.
And that's one of the things that Nunu's been doing with this show. He's been bringing a lot of those type of moments to the forefront, like shit that you just don't see in a lot of different shows, a lot of web series, a lot of, you know, TV shows, movies and shit.
For sure.
Bringing those moments like to a screen is big, you know, for people to see.
Inviting these different facets into the conversation because they're just as much part of the conversation. I mean, obviously, because that's kind of where a lot of just some of the swag in the overall LGBT community, the Black LGBT community, come from these sisters.
Absolutely.
So it makes sense. It makes sense to kind of have them part of the conversation.
And we need that, man.
In whatever way, and it needs to be uncomfortable. So shout out to Dwight for bringing that energy into the show. We got John and Trent, Netflix and chilling on Melly B's new video because that's what was playing when it was getting a little intimacy shit. I thought that was so cute. And so, you know, you can see how they vibing each other, but then by the next episode, it looks like they calling it quits. That was mad fast. So
super fast. Like that was a 180 like a month.
Mad fast. Like for real.
Like, all right.
Oof. You had the Halloween party, which was on episode 2. Was it a setup? Nah, I don't know. Did they try to set Jermaine Travis up?
That shit was a botched robbery, my nigga. Come on, man.
I am trying to understand because he was fighting he was beefing with everybody. Travis
that shit was
beefing with everybody. Even the camera guys got the sauce. You already know.
That shit was botched.
You got to see, of course, the star of the show, Cleon.
Of course, the star of the show.
The fan favorite. You know, we already know what it is. We already know we're not gonna play that game. He's the fan favorite. All right,
he is. No, he definitely is.
The only thing that I can tell about him is he's very new. He's so new, like
green, like greenery,
like he
the
does
greenest,
like
the greenest pastures.
Like he never even heard of Out Hip Hop, which let's not gas that. Out Hip Hop is definitely like a community thing. So the fact that he didn't know
like
about
that ain't. I mean, but by now you shouldn't be surprised that it's gay motherfuckers that rap. Like that shouldn't even be
like that's not
surprised
even,
by now.
Even, no, by now, but it's just the fact that he doesn't seem like he has a whole lot of life experience.
It's like
this whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
And people be like in their own world a lot. He just seemed like he's very like
in his
own shit. Like he kind of got a little bit of that blonde gene. You know what I mean? Like
a little bit of blonde.
Yeah, just very like, you know,
legally blonde.
Yeah, you know how it go.
You know what I'm saying?
He dope. I fucks with him.
And Julius, you see Julius taking care of his nieces and nephews. They look like they was giving him the rundown.
That was
like it was cute. It was real cute. He loved them kids. He loved his nieces.
Another real moment. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's a real moment.
I fucks with that a lot.
Who ain't how many? Who, you know, we all know the gay uncles. Like I'm a gay uncle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
same here.
You know how that goes.
Same here. This is how it is. We love our families, and it was cool to see that highlighted in the shit. So that was The Circle. Episode 2 and 3 are out right now. Episode 4, I'm here, but it's coming soon. We're filming this for May 7th. And if it comes out the week of, that's just what it is. We'll give you the rundown for
It'll
it
come
next
out
episode.
when it come out. You know how New do.
You know how you do. It's kind of sporadic with the shit.
We are not here worrying about the schedule. We out here.
Right.
We'll get it when we get it.
All right. On to the next news. Let's get into the shit.
What's going on, man? What's really going on?
What's really going on? So you got Tyler, the Creator.
Oh,
he is one of our favorite top 50 Q plus artists, and we have a lot of internal discussion about this motherfucker. He just guest starred on Westside Gunn. Westside Gunn is of Conway fame, signed to Shady Records and whatnot. Griselda, of course. He put out his album, Pray for Paris, and on the record, Tyler, the Creator, gets his shot on a song called 327. And EarthTone gonna act like he put me on the game when it's actually the opposite. But we're gonna get into the shits of the song. The song is cool.
You don't
it's
even
so
fuck with
cute.
Tyler though, like.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let you get your shit. But hold on.
I don't got no shit. Go ahead. This all you. The 327 record is dope. It's dope. Like it's Westside Gunn with Joey Badass and Tyler, the Creator, giving the final, and they all kind of compliment each other. Like they all got their shit off. My thing is, none of them really stood out like that. It's just the fact that we're talking about it is because Tyler, the Creator, is obviously a Q plus artist, and Westside Gunn is you already know, gangster rap, hardcore hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You already know what that kind of energy is like, and to see them connect like that, and for Westside Gunn to give Tyler, the Creator, his props for going off on the record, which he kind of did. It's a commendable situation because you just don't see. You see, the first thing people say about Q plus artists is they'll never get no street cred. So you know what I'm saying? So to see Tyler, the Creator, bridge that gap, bridge that divide by appearing on it, and Westside Gunn being all in, that's kind of a good look. And I'm gonna give all of them props for showing out. I think everybody, for the most part, fuck with Tyler in the industry. And everybody kind of know what it is. Yeah. But this is different. This is just the fact that they collaborated and they invited him. He's not like, you know what I'm saying? He's not doing his own thing, and he's just not. He's doing hardcore hip hop. They're not just getting him on some pop shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I fuck with that. He stepped into their world, which was dope.
He stepped into their world. And I'm gonna just say it. I wasn't that impressed with Tyler's verse. I wasn't that impressed with the verse. He came in and showed out. He kind of matched everybody's energy, but he didn't really give me that many quotables, except for the main one in there. Glitter on my neck matched the glitter on my fingernails. So he's being open with it. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cute. And a couple of other lines in there. What is it? Yes, I'm so happy. Yes, I'm so happy. Turn nothing into something. Skin glow on my hair nappy. Like, I like that. That's cute. That was one of the couple of quotables out of the like endless bars he was giving on the record. But just for a show of presence and representing just the idea of being a Q plus artist and being able to collaborate with somebody like Westside Gunn, an artist like that, a mainstream artist, like, I got to give kudos to that.
Yeah.
So
I don't know why you sound so reluctant though. Like, why you don't want to give it up? Like, he, you know what I'm saying? Like, the verse wasn't that crazy. I agree with you. And I mean, it was dope though. Like, it wasn't a bad verse. Like, everybody kind of went off, and I agree. Nobody really stood outshine. But I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, a lot of the times when we see these collaborations and these features, people always look like who got the illest verse. Like, that's always fun. But like at the end of the day, the first thing you said was a good song. You know what I'm saying? And it was a dope joint. Like, they went off. Joey Badass showed up. Westside showed up. Like you said, like that line he said, glitter on my neck matched the glitter on my fingernails. Like, just that one line alone means a lot. Just given the aspect of what Griselda means to you know, the music industry, and what Tyler, the Creator, means to the music industry. And we mentioned it earlier. Like, a lot of people shy away from their, you know, Q plus representation. You know what I mean? Like everybody don't always lean into that. And for the fact for him to get on a joint like that with a caliber of artist like that, and then Joey Badass on it as well, like for you to talk your shit like that, I thought was dope as hell. You know what I'm saying? So I gave him all of the kudos just for that. You know what I mean? Right there. And he produced a track on one of on the album as well. Not this one, I don't think, but he produced another joint on the project. So like they like fuck with him heavy. So
yeah,
that just goes to show you, like, when you live in your truth and you comfortable in your own skin, people respect that and they fuck with it. And if they gonna fuck with you, they gonna fuck with you for you. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Tyler on that. That was dope.
Absolutely, man. Shout out to them. And we're not necessarily ready to call Westside Gunna ally yet. We had this discussion. Not yet.
That's a check though. He got a check.
But it is a
check. Like we said, we got a 3-check system. You know what I'm saying? You got to check 3 boxes, and that's one of the checks. So he featured a Q plus artist on his shit. That's definitely a check. So shout out to Westside for that.
Shout out to Westside for that. And that's what's going on in these streets. You know what I'm saying? A little light today, but you know, it's still some shit bubbling.
Hey man, we got to be safe. You shouldn't be in the streets, really. So the fact that we bringing out shit from the streets, we risking our lives going out the streets, getting the memes. You know what I'm saying? Nah, we ain't gonna have to come lightly. Like, shout out to the people really risking their lives. Like, that shit's crazy out here. But we glad we could bring y'all this entertainment and still bring y'all what's going on in these streets somewhat, even though we ain't out there physically. But yeah, man, it was light, but it wasn't that light. It's some things going on out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? But once you finish running the streets, we can't be out there like that anyway. You cooped up in the crib.
Like that anyway.
What you gonna do, especially if you ahead? You know what I'm saying? If you ahead, like a head, like me, you gonna get you a O, find you a O for the low, and head over to the smoking section, man.
Smoking section.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hold up.
Cue the transition.
Where my light at? Hold
on.
Man?
I got mine. I hope you got yourself.
I gave you the Wheezy lighter. You heard the Wheezy lighter effect? Yeah, we out here, man. Come on, man.
Your money.
All right, man. So we appreciate y'all stumbling over to the smoking section with us. We about to have a motherfucking smoking section. Oh, shit, I fucked it up.
You fucked it up.
You know what? I think that might be like the tradition. Like, we haven't gotten it right yet. You know that, right?
We haven't gotten it right.
But we about to have a smoking session
in the smoking section.
Yeah, we on Zoom right now. We got a little lag. Y'all gotta bear with us. That's what we're gonna blame it on for this episode.
Bear with us.
We'll see what happens in the next episode. But
the lag, we're gonna blame the lag.
You know, once we get up in here, we always got a question for y'all. So
what's the question? Break it down.
Thinking about this one long and hard. We've been talking about it a lot. You know what I'm saying? It actually has a place on our grading chart. You know what I'm saying? Top of the line, the Mount Rushmore of weed strains. And it's actually a caveat to that. It's not actually a weed strain. It's a concoction of sorts. But we're talking about Moonrock. What is Moonrock?
What is it?
Or what are Moonrocks? And that's what we're gonna get into today. We gotta figure it out. And you know, once we had them questions, I throw my detective hat on. You know what I'm saying? I get in my bag. You know what I'm saying? I start doing my Googles.
Sherlock Tone.
You know, Sherlock Tone.
Sherlock Tone in the building.
I like that. I think I'm gonna keep that one.
You gonna adopt that one?
Sherlock Tone out here.
I like when Sherlock Tone get in this.
You know what I'm saying? And I find out. You know what I'm saying? I bring it back to the people. Let y'all know. You know what I'm saying? Because I know we got a lot of people out there. They smoke. They like they bud and they curious. A lot of people ain't had Moonrock, and I'm one of them. Never had it before, but I wanted to find out and figure out exactly what it is. So let's get into it. It's described as somewhat of a trifecta. It's like a THC trifecta. So it's composed of cannabis bud, the plant, dipped or sprayed in hash oil, right? And then rolled in keef. All right, so let me break that down for you. So that's trifecta. You got the cannabis buds, you got the hash oil, and you got the keef. So the bud, we know. The plant, the trees, we know what that is, right?
Right.
The hash oil. Hash or hashish, that's pretty much just concentrated THC. It's like they make it from the resin of the cannabis plant. And resin is pretty much, it's like a protective secretion that the plant excretes, you know, when like insects are trying to eat it or target it or it gets broken or something like that. It's pretty much like blood for plants, the resin. So that's what they make the hash out. And it's concentrated, it's pressed, and that's how they make the hash. And they turn it into an oil, and the oil, that's pretty much what you use in the vape pens. So that vape oil, that's hash oil. That's pretty much what it is, right? So that's like concentrated weed oil. And then you got your keef. So if anybody got a grinder, especially if you got a metal grinder, and you got that wire mesh, you know, catch tray at the bottom, you got that bottom, you know, that third chamber. You metal open grinder. That up. Yeah, exactly. That gunmetal joint right there. That's the ill joint. You catch the keef. And the keef is pretty much the dust, those, you know, when you see it's a good piece of bud and you see those little hairs and those crystals and all that stuff, all those little dust matters, those small particles, those get caught up in your grinder. And over time you catch that and you can scrape it and it's like a little compacted dust. So that's what keef is. But you need a bunch of that. So that's what a Moonrock is. So you got your cannabis bud, right? They take that. Can I bust around? They take that and they dip it or they spray it with the hash oil, right? The hash. And then you take that and then you roll it around in the keef and you get a nice little coat and a dust. Like and a chief keef. And that's a Moonrock. You know what I'm saying? And then to break it down, what lets you know how crazy it is. So THC, the THC level normally in the plant is like 20%. If you got you some fire, your shit gonna be like 25% THC, right? Moonrocks, 50% THC. Wow. 50%. That's like the proof. Like if you drinking alcohol and you got like 30 proof or, you know, 50 proof, whatever, like the THC level, that's the proof. So you got 50% THC. That's like half the fire in the fire. You know what I'm saying? So this shit is on another level. So it's not for the novice. Faint that hard. No. Not for the faint that hard. I wouldn't suggest you start with a Moonrock. You got to work your way up to the Moonrock. But this is what it's composed of. So the origins are a little shaky. It's not really clear on exactly who the first ones to make Moonrocks or, you know, create what it is. But it was popularized, surprisingly, by Kurupt, the rapper. You know, the West Coast rapper from the Dog Pound. Oh. He actually has his own brand of Moonrock. It's called Kurupt Moonrock. That's the brand. But interestingly enough, I didn't know that you could make it from any strain of weed. So it's composed of 3 components. You got the cannabis bud, you got the hash oil, and you got the keef. So wherever you get the strain from, it don't matter. So you could use any kind of bud. So you could use your Bubba Kush. You could dip it in some, you know, White Widow hash oil, and then you could roll it around in like a purple haze keef. You know what I'm saying? Like you can mix it up if you want. So you can make some fire. So it's like endless combinations, endless possibilities, endless amounts of hotness. And it's like one dude has, you know, recorded that he smoked Moonrock at like 7 p.m. on the night. Woke up the next morning at like 9 a.m. It was still like riding the wave, like still. Wow. Yeah. So it's like, it's that potent. Some mushroom shit. Yeah, it's that potent. So you can make it from any strain, but typically it's made with Girl Scout cookies. Like that's like the default. You know what I'm saying? So you want to use Girl Scout cookies. That's kind of the official digital. But you can use your favorite strain. You can use whatever you want. And it's a slow burn. It starts like, you know, in the head and it goes down to the body. So it's a combo weed. You know how some of them is like a heady weed. Yeah. Some of them is like a body high. This shit starts heady and then goes to the body. Like that's what they say. Oh my God. So it sounds like I'm gassing it, but this is all like professionals. Like, so I did a little research and this is what people were saying. Like I never smoked it myself, so I can't give you, you know, a personal, you know, experience from it, but this is what is out there as far as the research. Would you try to make it? Absolutely. Would you try to make it yourself? It's going to take a lot, though. The biggest thing, the hardest thing to get would be the keef, because keef takes a lot of weed and a lot of time to gather. Enough keef. You got to think like these is like dust particles. So you got to grind a lot of weed up to, get enough dust to roll around a nugget and get a nice coating. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
After a while, you know what I'm saying? I probably got enough to make one nugget right now. Like I can make a Moonrock, but I can't make a bunch. But apparently you don't need a bunch because they say you're not really even supposed to smoke them in blunts. So it's not like your regular trees. You want to grind it up and, put it in a blunt, roll it up. They don't recommend you smoke it with blunts. You got to put it in a piece or, like a bong or something like that. And you got to break it up. So exactly. So they say like the texture of it, because once you dry it out, they say the texture of it feels like a nerd rope. Nerds, the candy and like the ropes.
Yeah.
They saying it's like that. So it's going to be sticky and like tough and coarse to pull apart. But then once you pull a little nug apart, you only need a small piece. You hit it in a pipe, you're going to be good to go. So you don't want to smoke it like no regular trees because it's 50% THC. So you only need little portions at a time. But yeah, man, that's Moonrock. The shit sounds crazy. I definitely want to try. I would love to make my own. Before I make my own, I want to try it. Like I don't want to try my own first. Like I want to have somebody that know what they're doing or get it from an official source and try
naturally.
It. Yeah, but then I definitely would love to try my hand and make it my own. Like it sounds crazy. Because originally when I heard about it, I didn't realize it was something that was concocted, something that you had to make. I thought it was like a strain, like a just super hybrid strain. But nah, this is like you just mixing all of the THC elements into one. It's like a Voltron type. Like you got your plant, you got the hash oil, and you got the keef. Like all in one. It's just like that Moonrock. But that's why when we say with something that Moonrock, you understand what we mean. You know what I'm saying? It's a certain level. It's a certain level. It's different. You know what I'm saying?
It has to be.
When we get something a Moonrock, you gotta go check it out. If you don't do nothing else, go check out the Moonrocks. And we only got 2 of them so far, right? I think we got 2 of them. And we've been doing this for about a season right now. You know what I'm saying? For about a quarter.
We gave one out for Darcy Dundada, and then we gave one out for K Tronada.
K Tronada, yeah.
K Tronada, which are truly, really, really dope musical pieces, whether we're talking about a single or whether we're talking about an album.
Absolutely.
Truly dope pieces.
But yeah, man, that's that Moonrock, man. So, hey, I hope y'all been learned. I hope you feel, a little bit informed, more closer to this 420 culture, this cannabis culture, this weed culture, these pot heads. Shout out to all the weed smokers out there, man. We hope y'all being safe. Don't share no blunts. You know what I'm saying? Roll your own blunts, hit your own pieces.
Get your own piece.
Yeah, man. Stay safe, stay high, and enjoy yourself, man. But we're going to get the fuck up out of here, man. We're going to end it like we always do. On a high note. PZ got his piece. I got the blunt.
From coast to coast with this dope, this hope, with this dope, this hope. Sheesh. Wait, is it lit?